Too many traders prep like amateurs. There's no structure, no bias, no plan, and that's how accounts get blown. So I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I'm gonna approach GJ, Gold, and NAS 100 from April 20th to the 25th. And just so we're clear, this ain't a highlight reel. There's no edits, no hype, but if you're ready to kind of take this serious and finally build the skill to change your life, then this one's for you. Let's get right into the land of the charts. Here we are on GJ, and as you can see predominantly, we're still in the uptrend bias. Now, even though GJ is in the uptrend bias, as you can see, let me kind of fix this real quick. There we go, much better. Even though GJ is in the uptrend bias, you can see right around down here in this area, we have a lot of rejections. I want to fast forward to a daily area because these same areas that we have rejections, if you look down here, we have a very big bullish candle, which is why this kind of 4-hour candle kind of ended on a wick area. Now, if I turn on my technicalities, you can see to where the market kind of changed to this downtrending motion. But what I do want to tell you is that we're in a big consolidation range. So that's why we see the details as we do. Now, I know you see the fibs. Just give me a second. It's going to make sense in a whole second, right? Going down to the 10-hour time frame, we can really see the details a lot more better on why we are here. Now, I know you see a shitload of QPs and a shitload of lines. Let me kind of go down to the lower time frame. Let me alleviate some of these lines. These lines were past market entries, so allow me to kind of clean them up. You can see this week was a bit tedious, but we still ended out on top. So I want to kind of just remove some of these lines because this is just one of these situations so you don't really have to remove some of your charting as much. So boom. So now basically where we are within structure is that right over here to the left-hand side of price, you can see that this was the actual last market structure lower high. This pushed up, making a higher high, signifying that, hey, we are indicating that we're going to change trends. As soon as the market came back down, we did something along the lines of this. Let me kind of alter it for you so you guys can see it from my perspective. We came back right over here where we made a higher low based at this area right around here where we tested, keyword is tested, 50% but settling on 38.2. We didn't have enough momentum, as you can see, to actually break above higher, but you could see that the market actually printed off on 38.2 again. Now, we were doing some light retests. So what I'm insinuating based off of this move in general, just because we didn't break and go to the upside yet, is that we should be kind of making a clearance to go to this negative 27%, right? Just based on the rejections and the wicks in this area, and that's kind of breaking the counter trend line in the lower time frames. You could just see based on this bigger picture that we are looking to go up. Now, if I was supposed to hit back a little bit, because I want to get my fibs, you'll see why I got my fibs right here. Going down to the 5-hour, you could see that based on these market structure changes that we still maintained higher lows overall in this overall low point. So even though we maintained the higher lows overall in this overall area, we still managed to push a little bit higher than this area. So we got this area and now we're catching the retrace. When we caught the retrace, you can see right here that we landed on 60%, but we still didn't break higher. So there's not really a need to kind of adjust our fibs. Kind of coming down lower to like the 2 hours, we can see the details within the area. You can see that based on this area, right? Kind of looking from left to right and kind of adjusting. We have our fibs here, right? We have our higher low. And then from here, we didn't really make any market structure high lows from here. These are all 23.6s, right? Until we got right here, boom. Then right around here, you could see clearly that, boom, we had a 61.8 test, right? In this area, we can go ahead and we can add our eclipse. We actually did take a buy from here, as you can see. And we can go ahead and we can add our new trend line, right? Point A, point B. So potentially what I'm saying is theoretically, right, that the market should be able to push up from this 23.6, but we know what happens at 23.6s. The market's either going to consolidate or it's going to continue the trend very aggressively. We know where we are market structure wise because not only do we have our higher highs and our higher lows marked off, but we know where we are within trend. This is our higher low, this is our higher high, and this is our newly found higher low that we made. From here, we're still actually maintaining the upside direction of overall in the direction of trend. You can see this was the last buy we took where we kind of retest off this area and we kept on going. So you can see I have all my fibs kind of plotted here. You can see I have, this is the Fibonacci, sorry. You can see I have my QPs kind of plotted here where we have the major, which is at 189. We have this one, which is at 188,750. And then lastly, we have this one, which is at 188,500. So if you guys know how QPs go, you know the structure, you know the organization, you know how everything goes when it comes down to the QPs, right? The lowest that I feel like we can go overall with this move is maybe back around 188. like we're like around 188, 130 area, because we may get a retest of this area, but predominantly because the 38.2 is at the 188, 500, we could probably even retest here. So what I'm anticipating is something along the lines of this. Now the market doesn't have to do this exactly, but we are either going to go up, right, come back and then continue up to the upside, or right, we're going to go down, come at 38.2, make the structure, and then continue to go up to the upside. Regardless, the direction is up. If we look at it from a 1 hour perspective, we can see we have this zone. So potentially where this zone is, we could potentially get a retest here, which is why I said we're going to look out for the 750 or the major. You can see VQP a little bit standing out on more top. Potentially at the lowest, we could potentially come for a retest, is right back around here at this zone. Now, DJ does have a habit of retesting price a lot, but based on market structure, as I see it in a whole standstill, right? Because we came down, we came back up, we came down, we did our little retest right here, we did our continuation, we came down, and from right here, theoretically, it's a lot of consolidation, but the higher lows are kind of maintaining. So that's why I think we should be able to kind of take up or lift off where we last were. I don't really see us a need to come back down here, but just in case the market fails and we break it down on opportunity-based levels, this is what I see. So I would love to take a long position from the 189 flat, kind of riding it up, stop loss kind of underneath this overall area, and I want to kind of ride the momentum kind of all the way back up to the higher high. That's only if we break the 189 area in a market structure retest, no entry, or we can come back down and get a better risk to reward setup and kind of go from there. But that's kind of pretty much it when it comes to GJ, and my buys is buys. We're gonna look at Goldie. Now you can see based on my last charting action, basically what I kind of had the market kind of coming down right around here, and then you can see the market kind of came right back up. So this kind of played exactly into it, right? And we're still kind of making these higher highs. So gold ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Gold ain't going nowhere. Gold is really moving up on structure and really trending. The only way I see gold going somewhere is if this overall resistance area is continued to be met, right? Not only that, but you can see sellers kind of took over pretty semi-aggressively. The only way I could see gold continue going down is if sellers can maintain this area of a resistance right around here, near the 185, no, I'm sorry, not the 185, the 325, 250 QP, which is right around here, this one. If we can use this as resistance, then maybe we will go down. I could see that we're getting a lot of rejections and everything of the such. But until then, I could see gold, this behemoth, keep on going, just for the simple fact that right here, buyers are still in control. We did a beautiful break and a retest right here. If I go down to the 20-minute, you'll be able to see right here where we broke, retest, and continue to the upside. So the only way I would take sells is if we kind of rejected right here and we're kind of maintaining this overall downtrend posture that we're kind of making from right here. But outside of that, I'm pretty much good, right? Because this is the kind of the shift. This is kind of the energy right here. It was this trend down that kind of broke this structure right here. So you can see right here where we're actually acting like a market structure area. I said actually. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, right around here, boom, you can kind of see it break, retest. So as long as this area is able to hold as some type of resistance, maybe, but if we could hold this QP, we're definitely going to go up. So I would want to see this QP reject to kind of hold on to the downside, but buyers volume is looking pretty solid. So we just got to kind of wait and see with this, but the bias is going to be buys if we could hold up above this area and continue going down. Outside of that, we may actually come back down for a steeper retrace. You dig what I'm saying? Because we've been kind of going up for a while, but it all just depends on how we kind of close out. I'm going to take the safe entry. So with this, you kind of want to sit on our hands and wait. If we go up, we're going to stay above here. If we go down, we're going to reject and go down low. Last but not least, Nazi Poo. Nazi. Nazi's actually ready for some good solid buy bias. Let me show you how I got there. If we go up to the 6 hour time frame, you can see roughly right around here, right? I would love to draw structure so that way I can bring you into my world, so that way you can see it on how I see it, right? We've been trending up to the upside here, right? And then all of a sudden we kind of did this recovery right here where we broke. And then look at this, we retested and then we dropped all the way down here, retested the same area, and then we kind of shot up, which is kind of where we are now. Right around here, we have a huge indecision area. Right around here to where we're acting as an area of overall resistance to where we kind of rejected. This was the area that we kind of broke and kind of maintained, and then we kind of came back down. But also within this area, it was this same area right here that kind of maintained as an overall area of support. So I know I have some smaller time frame biases right here, but I kind of want to show you the higher time frame bias first, so that way you understand that the trend is your goddamn friend and you don't mess up this week, right? So because we kind of came into this rejection area, we kind of came back down, boom, boom. Now, does that mean that Nas can't continue going down? It can, But if we go to the 4-hour time frame and we look at the details, we've already actually started doing a lot of sellers exhaustion within this area based on these 2 candle wicks right here, which is predominantly good, right? Now, as far as for structure bias goes, if I borrow this green zone right here and I print it right here, right, as you can see, this is a bit of a rejection area for NAS, so we kind of want to watch out. But predominantly, if we can hold this area, we should be able to kind of push back up here. Looking at it from a 1-hour perspective, you can see that right around here, this is where it gets interesting for me, at least, right? You look right here where buyers took over at this lowest point, we got our market structure retest, we move forward. So you can see that right around here, we're really kind of getting our solidification of market structure, which is predominantly good, which is what I like. We actually just got another engulfing here. So what I'm seeing it as is that we should actually be able to kind of push up and then come back and retest this area later. Just because this was the last common area that buyers took over. Even right here, if we look at it, we could push up and come back and retest this area as well. So I really want to watch price action as this. You can see I have the QPs kind of listed and solidified here. But what's most importantly is this little indicator I have right here. This is always going to let me know about the higher time frame candle bias. You can see right here, like it's still showing me what the 4-hour candle is looking like. So I can tell by the exhaustion, I can tell by all the details by utilizing this indicator with the highs and the lows and kind of taking advantage of the exhaustion areas on how it appears on the 4-hour time frame. You can see if I was all the way down here, you can see how the candle will have exhausted on the higher time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, showing me that exhaustion, that we were at an area of support. And even if you look at it as low as this time frame goes, just to kind of show you how structure kind of works with NAS, you can see here we broke, we retest, we broke, we retest, we broke, we shifted up to the upside, we broke, we retest, we broke, we retest, we shifted up to the upside. So it's a lot of trend continuance for me, which is what I like, but trend again is your friend. So I'm watching structure kind of maintain as it goes higher and higher. So because we already kind of solidified ourselves right here, and then we have a bit of a trend line that I can draw from here to here that would connect us to the higher time frame, we can actually revisit down here. So I'm not saying that we won't, but because of how the trend is currently going as of right now, with buyers kind of taking over literally right here, I'm expecting for us to kind of push up and probably potentially come retest this area. So it's all in a nutshell structure. As long as you know where you are within structure and you understand these rejection areas and we got these retests solidified, ideally we should be good to go. So as long as if we break one area, we're going to break another, and we're going to kind of continue going up and up and up and up from there. So predominantly this looks very good to me to go to the upside. Again, I'm going to wait, but again, just based on where we're at right now, as far as the structure goes, we're in the middle of 2 QPs. So predominantly, I like my entries as close as possible to the QP, so that way I have the best risk to reward setup overall. And this 250 QP was just the latest one. Now, outside of this, we do have the 300, which is right around here, that I can say we can kind of pick up from here, and then 325 and then 350 and so on and so forth. So as long as we go QP by QP up in the upside direction, maintaining but also getting our retests on the lower time frame, just as we did here, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest, ideally we should be good to go. So the next QP that we really got to solidify is right here at 325, which is somewhere around there. So if we could break above this and solidify ourselves, we should be actually good to kind of go up and continue that uptrend momentum. So with that being said, that's kind of my bias on NAS. So we went over GJ, we went over gold, and we went over NAS. This is the game plan. The same PDF I used to prep my trades this week is linked in the description below. Download it, study it, and let it anchor you, because the market rewards those with clarity and not chaos. So with that being said, we're locked in. Drizzy Banks out, and deuces.